You've reached call in Mockery.
Hello, welcome to Colin Mockery. I'm Joey, and he likes his cream and sugar with a little coffee.
Somebody once told me
Now I feel like an ass.
the world was gonna roll me.
Let me check the lyrics. Hold on a second. Do you mind if I pull it up quick? I'm gonna check the file. I think I have. Let me check really quick.
Ain't
Take
the
4. I've been selling my soul,
Oh shit.
working all day,
No.
overtime.
No, sorry. No, I don't have it on here. That was weird. That's so weird. Did
I got scared because I thought that was
you?
I thought it was someone else who I can't name for some reason.
You thought I was putting someone on blast?
Well, I was just scared more so because I was confused.
Yeah.
You know when you wake up and there's a cicada in your house or a locust or
Yeah.
what did I say it was? and someone is doing that too.
Yeah. My big fat wedding 3. I'm just kidding. This is Landon, and I am Team Spaghetti. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 1,000 welcomes to you all.
Thank you.
And we've done our tributes right up top.
You're gonna have to send me whatever you're working on.
That wasn't me. I don't know what that was. I was trying to find All Star, and that just popped up. So weird. That was weird. I think it was someone else that you were talking about. That's crazy. Let me check. Yeah, that's weird. I actually don't know why my phone did that. I don't even have a phone. I don't even check the internet. I'm mainly just an outside guy. You know when you watch those guys that are free climbing, like free solo? That's sort of what I do. I spend most of my money on the white powder to get my hands nice and dry.
Hey, they should have called Star Wars Return of the Jedi. They should have called that Free Solo.
Hey,
The first half of that movie is them trying to get Han Solo out of a freaking cryo freeze. They're trying to free Han Solo. You think the bounty hunter is going to be someone devious, but it's actually the deviously dirty Princess Leia, who then becomes dressed in a little tiny swimsuit made of metal. If you know anything about metal, you don't want that
meddling with
your private
areas will
turn
turn green.
Hey, and then we find out that's Jabba the Hutt.
It is?
We didn't know that was Jabba the Hutt because we've
Okay.
only seen the deleted scene from New Hope where Han Solo's talking to Jabba the Hutt and he's just a man, a big fat man, disgusting big fat man walking around, and he says, Jabba, you're a big fat disgusting slob and I hate you, and he pokes him.
And then he steps over his tail. Hey,
Anyway,
they can call that movie whatever they want as long as they don't call me late for the scene with the metal.
Anyway, thanks for coming out to the Alt Comedy Expo that's above the comic book store.
Have you noticed that I've seen a lot of comics lately doing stand-up that they are just referencing movies and stuff now?
Yeah,
Where they're just
I've
like,
worked with
okay,
one.
so Harry Potter has it's a scar in the shape of a lightning bolt, and people are just laughing because they know.
Yeah, it's my least, and it is the alt comedy because what's the nerd place? Remember, there's like in LA, there's like above a comic
But did
shop.
they shut it down?
They shut it down.
The place where they would do the Nerdist and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What was that called?
And look,
our listeners are screaming at us.
I like a lot of the people that went through there and did their little sets there and stuff. They seem like good people. But so much of the comedy, even then, this was like 10 plus years ago at this point. You had like Kumail and other people that I can't think of. He's the only one I can think of right now. But a lot of these, and it's the alt comedy thing because they're not the, you know,
Meltdown comics.
And they, you know, but so much of that is like, okay, so Back to the Future, he goes back and kisses his mom. Okay, what? I would need another time machine to go back and make sure I never was born.
They should have called that movie Weird Science. Okay. Weird Science. That's Danny Elfman. Okay. I would be the okay guy.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
When are we going to do an open mic night? We should. We have to.
We should host. It should be called, instead of Meltdown, it should be like Freeze Up.
And there's like some other guys that still, the dude just like, I'm a Star Wars comedian.
I'm a Star Wars comedian. What's going on? Remember when he pissed on my rug? Because I'm the dude. I'm the dude who's the Star Wars. I was stuck in a video game once. I was sucked into a video game once. Ron. That's the funniest joke I've ever heard.
A perfect joke and no one notices. Shut up. You all noticed.
I'll kill you. Also, I don't know if that's what he was doing.
No,
because then he says, I played it on set every day. I got sucked into it. I loved it.
He wasn't, because
He
the
didn't mean he got
clip.
sucked into it, you dumb ass.
You saw the 5-second clip that someone clipped, and you didn't go look at the full video. I didn't, but I'm taking Joey's word for it. Okay, and let's
crack the LD.
Okay, so this is interesting. He cracks open a liquid death, and before the show, I said, "Hey, buddy, do you want one? Do you want a crisper for the show?" That's what we call them here in the studio. And he said, "Yeah, I'd like one." And then I saw that we only had one crisper, literally in the crisper. That's where we keep them in our fridge.
So you didn't get a crisper?
I'm just drinking Wawa.
No!
And I wanted everyone to know it here on the podcast.
I didn't realize. I thought maybe he put his crisper in his... Maybe you put in there some ice. I know you got big ice in the house. They're telling us it's all melting, but Big Ice wants you to believe that it's almost all gone. They say that if the glacier goes, then all of Juneau's gone. Well, guess what? Juneau shouldn't have been there in the first place if she would have been abstinent. If he wasn't all saying wizard and not using condom, he really, really wouldn't have got her preggers. Juneau. It's funny they call him Tim Apple because he's selling us McDongles.
Here's one thing I do have to bring up on the show. And this, I offer you the crisper knowing that I have to completely destroy your world. A few months ago, we go to a movie. You, me, the two ladies with whom we live.
Uh-huh.
And on the popcorn stand, there's salt and there is nutritional yeast. And I've never seen that before offered at the store.
Was it
at the popcorn place?
It was at the Weird
movie.
Theater, right?
At the theater.
It's
yeah.
at the Hipster Theater.
The hip theater where we're like, okay.
Hey, let me get one of those. Let me get one of those hats from Peaky Blinders. I'll get an IPA and some nutritional yeast on my popcorn.
Yeah, give me a hazy and fruity sour.
I'll take a sour. Do you guys have one of those tiki? That was a joke, actually.
Yeah, that's.
I'll get the nooch.
So grab the nooch. So I looked at the nutritional yeast, which we call nooch. Mm-hmm. I look at it and I said, "What do you want me to do with this?" And then I talked to you about it, and you said, "Oh, I use that." I said, "Of course you do. Look at the length of your shorts."
I can't stand up for fear of the censors.
You're gonna have a Lenny Kravitz situation.
I wish. Hey,
yeah, no,
and not gonna be a worry here.
No. So, so you say, "Oh, we use that all the time." It's kind of a salt alternative. It's a cheesy seasoning.
I say I use that.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
You said I use that all
Yeah,
the time
yeah, yeah.
on my popcorn.
Yep.
And I said, oh, okay, well, interesting. Is that I like what you like. There's a lot of,
He didn't like it.
as far as our palates are concerned, we tend to we like similar stuff. Wouldn't you agree?
No. Yeah.
So I don't do anything about it for a while, but it's in the back of my mind. A little nooch nugget.
That would be
Smash cut to someone very important to me needing a little salty something on their popcorn because they're trying to cut back on salt. Someone who brought me into this world and
Can take you out.
can take me out,
The doctor.
gave me everything I've ever needed in my life.
So you
All
offered in
he
return.
needs is a salt seasoning alternative for his popcorn. And I say,
I already have a rebuttal, but I'm gonna hear you out.
I know. Nutritional yeast. They use it at the movie theater. My best friend in the whole wide world. And also Joey uses it. For his popcorn. And I know I can trust Joey. So I tell him. But then I go get nutritional yeast for myself because I can't do that. For one, I don't need so much salt. I should try it. This is a perfect time to do it. Also, I can't put my weight behind something I've never used before. I can put a lot of weight behind a lot of stuff because of all that salt I've been having. But, so I go get some nutritional yeast. I put it on my popcorn. And all I taste is dust. It's nothing. There's nothing there.
Okay, so
Explain yourself.
Here's where you have gone off track. It is not a salt substitute.
Well, okay, no, it's seasoning. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but it's mainly for if people aren't doing butter. They use it as a.
It even says on the bag, great on popcorn. No, it's not. It's not great on anything. It doesn't taste like anything.
So you didn't taste it. I would say you got to use the nooch and the salt. It's not gonna.
You can't use both. That defeats the purpose.
Is there salt in nooch? Listeners, we want to hear from you.
No.
Exactly. It's not.
Well, I think there is a bit of sodium, but there's no salt.
Okay, well, let's
in
look at
name
the
alone.
first word in this.
Nutritional.
Yes.
So there you know it's not going to taste good.
Right. It is a nutritional. It's packed with B vitamins. You probably couldn't sleep afterwards.
Well, so I talked to this man. Okay, fine. I'm just going to say it. It's my chiropractor.
Yeah.
I talked to him a few days later, and he says, "Hey, oh, by the way, I tried the nutritional yeast." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "It's nothing. It tastes like nothing. I've tried to just lick my finger and stick it in the bag and lick. I don't taste anything. There's nothing there." And I was like, "Yeah, I tried the same thing, and I'm gonna beat Joey.
Okay, so
I'm gonna beat him up when I see him next."
hold on, because this story is all over the place. So
No, it's not. I talked to my chiropractor.
You bought it, and I said I cannot give this to my chiropractor without first trying it myself.
No, I told him about it, just knowing that it was
okay.
at the theater and that you use it. I said, Joey uses it. It was at the theater to put on popcorn. There must be something to this. I know it's people use it to top their popcorn. And then separately, we went our separate ways. He bought a bag. I bought a bag. The same brand, mind you. So maybe the brand matters. What brand do you use?
I use what did I get recently? I want to say Bragg's.
Bragg's.
I want to say it was Bragg's. It was either Bragg's or there's that guy who owns the mill.
Bob's Red Mill. That's what we have.
That's not it then. I've gotten it from Bragg's, and I've gotten it from, Bragg's is also what they have probably at the movie theater. I'm guessing. A shaker of Bragg's.
Okay.
You can also get it in bulk from your local so-and-so, your local cooperation mart.
Sure.
And you can get enough, because the bags of Bragg's, Bragg man down in Bagman, They're
taking
big.
my salt and they're selling it to Norfolk. They're taking my salt and I have to eat nooch.
I've been hungry all day, eating that yeast. Tastes like nothing. Now I'm peace. So I can sit here with my bag of corn. Now it's useless. I still watch porn. It's a damn shame.
Living in the nooch world.
With a salt soul. Bragg. I'm a Bragg's man by bags, man. Woo! Oh.
Is anyone? We're gonna need footnotes for this episode.
Yeah, this is 10 layers deep. This is like when you go to buy that 7-layer dip at the store and it's just 1 layer of brown. You're like, what the hell is this? The sour creams and the cheese and the guacamole's all together. And they're like, oh, they shipped it to us and it got shaken around. Well, hey, look, I'm sorry about doing that to you and your dentist. I mean, it was completely. I don't feel bad just because I wasn't consulted about any of this.
No.
I would have said, I'll give you a little,
Sure.
a sliver of the NY. Not I love NY, but it sounds like you don't, and I don't use it that much.
Well, okay. But he did say I still just use it because I think it is good for me anyway. So there's at least that. You get a little kick of nutrition on your popcorn that is otherwise completely tasteless.
Maybe do a half and half. Say I'm going to do half as much salt as I used to, and then maybe the neutral kick in a little bit and give you that nutty, cheesy flavor that they are so known for. I also don't even know what it is.
Yeah, I looked it up and I couldn't make heads or tails of it. So
Yeah.
it's like it's still just
It was like it's yeast.
yeah,
I was like, but what is that?
right.
I
And then what? You shave it down into flakes or what? Or what?
I think so. And then they just add vitamins.
Yeah.
I
don't
could
know.
just next time just shave a multivitamin over your popcorn. Flintstone.
Flintstones popcorn. Do you think Angie or any of these other popcorn people will do? Because they keep doing the flavors like watermelon popcorn, pina colada popcorn,
I'm sick of it.
Flintstone vitamin popcorn. Now I'm back on board.
Okay, if they did maybe
I ate some watermelon popcorn and some pina colada popcorn, and both were good. I sat in a hotel room looking at 3 women and
what?
just ate 2 bags of popcorn as they just stared at me in disbelief.
You can do but you can
do that.
You can do that. You know why?
Grows the economy. Benefits everybody. Hurts nobody.
You can buy any popcorn you want.
Still going. You can buy any popcorn you want. You can.
Hold on, I'm getting a call.
Guess what? It grows the economy. Benefits everybody.
This is a lot of ASMR doesn't work for me. But if you get Sleepy Joe saying, grows the economy.
Yeah, Sleepy Joe or Sloppy
Watermelon.
Joe. I think we did pretty good numbers, by the way, on our episode last week called Sloppy Joe, because I think it was the algorithm
It's going to bump it
doing
up.
Sleepy Joe
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
And because the YouTube conspiracy people are always like, what's the latest on Sloppy Joe? I mean, Sleepy Joe.
Should we try to figure out what the correlation is to Meatball Ron then? Why does Meatball Ron work?
I think because he
Meatball Ron
looks like a meatball. It's red and greasy, and I can't eat too many of them.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much behind that one. Meatball Ron.
I think it just sounds good.
Or there's like the
It's funny. because it is funny.
Yeah. No, it's a good thing.
Living in the nooch world.
Let's just kind of check in some. Hey, did you have you had a list of movies you want to talk about?
Yeah, I did want to do one final thing because you did interrupt my.
Oh, I was gonna do something too.
You interrupted our little moment of silence
Oh yeah, sorry.
for the man. So I do want to just quickly, in all earnestness, for all of our fallen folks, just a quick little hymn.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see.
I see.
Was blind, but now I see.
I'm going to, as we're getting into our next segment called movies,
Okay.
for our shelf behind us here, I've brought a contender, and I'm going to open it on the show as Landon does whatever he's doing, and we're going to see if it's shelf worthy, because we have talked about many Indiana Jones things. We're going to see if I've not opened this yet,
Whoa.
and we're going to see if it's worthy of the shelf. So this is Indiana Jones Adventure Series Club Obi-Wan. Indiana Jones. The box looks pretty good. It's clearly computer generated. So we're going to see how good the figure looks and if it is shelf worthy. This is our new segment, Shelf Worthy. So, and go ahead, and you watched.
Oh, you.
Well, this isn't good for audio.
Oh, okay,
I'm
that's
just going to try to take it out. If you're watching, you're going to love this.
Well, okay, so I watched. First off, I want to give a comedy recommendation. John Early, you know him, you love him,
Yes.
has a stand-up special on Max called "Now More Than Ever." He has a backing band. He does a couple songs, including one song at the end that is funny and also just really good. But they're like cover songs, but it's just funny because he'll just... You just got to watch it. And then here's the... So it's all very funny. They do little cutaways of like behind the scenes of him being a monster to his bandmates and stuff. And it's just funny stuff. But the last 20 minutes, he kind of perfectly captures the annoying nature of our generation and all of the stuff that you and I kind of talk about on here that we get mad about,
Right.
Of like catchphrases that people use as their identity, etc. Ow. Ow.
Actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks great.
All right, continue.
And he perfectly distills it all down into 20 minutes of hilarious comedy, and we should probably stop because
Someone did it better
better, more concise, and
on HBO.
HBO.
Have you watched his sketch show with Kate Berlant?
I haven't yet. That was next on my list after I watched this because I said, God,
I watched a trailer for that and I laughed and laughed and I said, I gotta watch that,
it looks hilarious.
and I have not yet.
He's always funny when he pops up on whatever.
You're always happy to see him.
Yeah.
You, kind listener. Okay, comes with a couple hands.
Yeah, you're going to want to... they're kind of small parts. And there are no small parts when it comes to Hollywood. Certainly when it comes to Lenny Kravitz. But...
I mean, the thing is, so this is like Lenny Kravitz, and this is me. Why would you do this, boy? Put the diamond on something.
It's like the movie.
One of them's got the vial, and the other's got a little diamond. There, he give it to the lady, and he need the vial back. What he does, he sticks, and there's 3 flaming chickpeas on a sword, and you put it in your Shirley Temple, and guess what? Grows the economy. Well, these are not going to show up well on the shelf.
No.
So far, that's not shelf worthy.
But we can put Harry's son up there.
Yeah. He looks pretty good though. I think he might come home with me.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. We're gonna take a break from putting stuff on the shelf for today.
Just for today.
And we're just gonna see what we're gonna do with it.
Okay. So that was your segment?
Yeah. So maybe we'll put the I should have just not opened it. It's probably gonna be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, probably. Did you watch anything?
I put Sleepy Hollow on in the background because I said I don't think I'm ever gonna watch this, and it was just
Tim Burton's
putting up some Halloween decorations. So I put on Borton's Sleepy Hollow, and you've got a little English Depp. He's like, "There's something out there that's taking them heads off." And she's like, "Methinks it's me father, Christopher Walken." He's like, "Methinks you're right. Come here, snog me, baby, yeah." So there's that, and then you hear, of course, you hear in the background the whole time, it's like, "Weird science." So that's playing in the background, and then they're Victorian, and there's corsets and lace and leaves falling.
Oh.
And so then that played in the background for what seemed like forever.
I've never wanted to watch that movie.
We were at my uncle's house once, my aunt and uncle's house, and he had just installed, this was 25 years ago when the movie came out. They had just installed their surround sound. And I've a house with surround sound. So we went to the movie rental place, and on the back of all the DVDs, you can see he's like, "See that? It says 5.1." He's like, "We rented this last week. You could hear the horses running behind you." And I was like, "Oh." So we rented that.
Sleepy Hollow.
We rented Sleepy Hollow, and we rented Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And you could hear the horses behind you. And then
Diary of
And then we watched Sleepy Hollow. Actually, when when Medea
stepped on your joke, I'm sorry.
No. I wasn't going to make the joke, but you made it, and then what I did is I made it sound like. But when she's cutting the couch in half, when Medea says in divorce you get 50-50, and she chainsaws the couch in half. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the only comedy part in the movie. The rest of it's like about a abusive marriage. The commercials are not what you once thought the movie would to be. So, but you can hear the chainsaw all around you.
Wow. Okay, so it's cool.
So it's like, and you're like, whoa.
So is Sleepy Hollow good or? Mm-hmm.
Not for me.
We've been watching a bunch of little scary movies to get ready because we're so ready for the fall times and the pumpkins coming out.
Hot out.
Yeah.
How can it be fall? How they got apple crisp and pumpkin pie at the store, but it's 100 degrees out?
Meanwhile, I've had a pumpkin coffee every freaking day because I don't care. I like pumpkin. We've done this a million times. We can't talk about it anymore. I like pumpkin flavored stuff.
I don't like the pumpkin
latte.
I don't like the pumpkin latte from Starbucks.
Yes. I did. I had one, and it was one of the worst things I've
Maybe
ever tasted.
Maybe it's the espresso. It's just burnt. Everything they sell is burnt.
Well, I had it from the Barnes & Noble cafe, no one knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
They're like, so, got any other plans? Just make the drink. I'm going to look at books.
This is about it. That's what you go, this is it. And they go, yep, I'm at work.
I went to a doctor's appointment today.
Ooh, I know. I saw it on my calendar for some reason.
And they oh, really? And you didn't even ask?
It was on the shared calendar.
And you didn't ask if I was fine?
Well, I thought it was for me, so I was worried about myself.
The first thing they do is, before I even step on the scale, to reveal that I'm actually 15 pounds lighter than Donald Trump.
Wow. 200.
They say, so you have any plans today? I was like, It's a work day. What do you? Of course, I have plans. I have to go back to work, like you're doing right now at work.
Do doctors
Just pisses
think
me off.
they're not at work?
They just love it so much.
Yeah, I guess if you never work a day in your life, I think
There's something wrong with the children. There, I said it. There's something wrong with the children. This is a movie that we watched on Prime. I think it was a Shudder, maybe, or no. It's a MGM Plus original. It's all of these places have all the streamers have their own original content. That I think the streamer itself went under or whatever, and then they just sell it off to Prime and they sell it off to Netflix and stuff. You're gonna start seeing a bunch of weird stuff like this, I think, in the coming months, years, and lifetimes. But this is let's just say the first half was pretty good and fun, and the second half was pretty bad and not good at all.
that's the problem with a lot of these movies
Yeah.
when they get to the second half of what the story actually is.
Yeah, because the setup is so, like, it's fun. You're like, oh, basically the deal here is that a childless couple goes to a little cabin in the woods with their friends who have two childs, and the two childs look into some pit and become devilish and demonic, and only the one guy, they're only targeting the one friend who doesn't have kids, and everyone thinks he's crazy, but he's like, there's something wrong with the children. They don't believe him. It's a tale of halves, in that the first half is kind of fun and the second half is bad. Only half of the actors are good and half of the actors are bad. It's kind of funny because, and it is something that I think we've talked about too, like when all the original content on the streamers is like, they get maybe one person you've seen before, and then the rest are like no-name people, which is fine. I like no-name people, but it's like,
Oh yeah, no disrespect.
you do realize that there are only a few like actually talented actors to pull from.
In the world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you watch other people trying to do it who, like, this is my big chance, and they're terrible.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is the studios are probably right. Like, Brad Pitt should get the money, right?
Yeah.
And No Name, of course, needs to scrounge for scraps. Have you watched...
Well, I just think there's untapped potential, but for some reason, I don't know how people...
Literally pointing at himself.
I don't know how some people get jobs and other people don't. It just makes no sense to me. It's like, well, this person looks right. It's like, but they suck.
Someone I know, I guess, is in a new movie or show with Nicole Kidman, and we'll talk about this off air.
This isn't true.
But it's one of those things where now you look at them on the screenshots and you go, they do look like they should be in movies. Because some people just don't.
Yeah.
He's pointing at himself again. It's sad. Speaking of halves, he thinks he's great. He thinks he doesn't deserve it. It's just a sad thing to watch live, folks. You should watch what happens live. If anyone's going to BravoCon in November, let me know how it is. Tickets sold out pretty fast. Hey, speaking of kid movies, have you seen Goodnight Mommy?
No. I saw the original.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was freaky.
I didn't know they remade it. I was looking it up to try to talk, and I was like, 2022, Naomi Watts?
Yeah.
You know what that is backwards, right? Stall. I moan. Bye.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.